How to implement your foundation blueprint. Invest once for a lifetime of profits. Workshop 3. Hello, it's Sophia Gray again, founder of the Savvy Women Investors Academy and #1 best-selling author, The New Rules of Success. It's great to have you join me for the 3rd video in my free workshop, The Property Foundation. Invest once for a lifetime of profits. Property Blueprint. In this video, I'm going to outline the exact blueprint you need to build your property portfolio and business. If you've ever been confused about how all the pieces of investing in property fit together, and more importantly, what goes on into creating a massive success in investing in property, this video is for you. Maybe you're a newbie and you aren't sure how to get started, or you're an experienced property investor that isn't accomplishing the kind of growth in your property business you're after. So in this video, I'll show you how the savvy women investors like you and me can build your property business. So let's recap. In video 1, we talked about how now is the right time to focus on your strategy and your end goal, so you too can make more time, have more time, and have more money. Then in video 2, we covered the first steps to take so that you can maximize on your profit. So if you haven't seen those videos, go back and watch them now, and then come back to this one. Today I'm going to build on what we already discussed by giving you the complete blueprint to build your property business. By the end of the video, you will have so much clarity about investing in property, and you will see everything, how it fits together. I'm also going to share the 8 steps to follow to become a savvy property investor. Once you follow these steps, you'll become more confident in your investment journey. This will help you break free of what can be classed as a frustration, and it is key in helping you to accomplish your end goals, so you can experience more time and money. We have got a lot to cover today, so make sure you've got your pens and paper ready so you can take notes and follow along. Anytime you're trying to build your property business, it can be really hard, because in the beginning everything is new. Things like figuring out the property strategy you want to start with, how to finance your investments, and where to find the property deals. And then you need to know the role each plays in investing in property. It's not easy. On top of that, even if you have experience in investing in property already, you're always looking for the 80-20 rule. You don't have the time to waste, so you want to just find the 20%, and that's going to produce the 80% of your results. That's why the Property Foundation Blueprint is going to save you a ton of time. This is the exact blueprint that you'll need to build your property business. So go ahead and click on the button to download your own copy of the Property Foundation Blueprint. With that said, I need to warn you before we get rolling. Once you see the blueprint, you'll be tempted to dive in and start reading. It gives you the complete overview, but I want to make things easy for you by covering that 20% that we talked about earlier. So though the blueprint gives you the high level view, stay with me, because I'll walk you through the 20% that gives you the 80% of results. When I say I've got you, believe me, I sincerely believe that there's an exceptional value in building a passive income and being able to invest once and achieving recurring income from these investments for your property business. It will allow you to provide for your loved ones, giving you a tremendous stability, plus giving you a sense of accomplishments, allowing you to feel stress-free. Wouldn't you like that? Listen, let me be straight with you. If you are not certain on your next move forward, then you will become stuck and remain there. My ultimate goal with the Property Foundation Blueprint is to take over 20 years experience of creating the desirable lifestyle for myself and my clients through investing in property, and help you to avoid the mistakes that led to time-consuming investments and financial disasters. For me, with my foresight, you'll be able to get clarity of exactly what is required to build a profitable property business that gives you as much free time as it does money, even helping you to secure funds for your retirement and a handsome legacy to pass on to your loved ones once using the free time and money we help you build. You can luxuriate in indulgence in your things that you love to do. Savvy women just like you around the world over are turning to learning about property investments and doing what they love into a recurring revenue. Wouldn't you like that? You start to gather information on the internet from magazines and newspapers, then your eyes simply start to glaze over as there is so much to process, and it becomes quite daunting when you don't know where to start. So here is the good news. Getting into property investment isn't that hard and less confusing than you actually think. But there is a process that you will need to follow which will enable you to become a successful investor. If you are new to the property investment, following these 8 simple steps will allow you to create a property business and portfolio that is profitable and delivers long-term growth for years to come. And if you're a seasoned investor, it's a refresher on how to keep things simple but moving. The key to this first step is to research what strategies in your property business have worked for other successful investors that have walked this path before you. Do not be shy here at all. Ask them what worked for them and follow their steps to success. It's always key to ask for information that you don't know. So by asking someone what their success path was, what their strategy was, will help you to decide on yours. So step 1, educate yourself. Step 2, do your research. On average, 70% of your property performance will be based around where the properties are located. The key here is to research the core principles. Now, this could be looking on different platforms like Zoopla, Rightmove, On the Market. Look at these platforms and do your research on where you want to do your property strategy. Now, your property strategy could be in Birmingham, Liverpool, any of the central towns in London. Know what is best for you. When it comes to step 3, setting a realistic budget, this is really key. Because if you wanted to purchase in London, that's going to be very difficult if you're on a small budget. Purchasing your first investment property and getting it ready for the rental market will involve some of your time and a small financial commitment. The golden rule here is not to underestimate how much resources is going to be needed for this step. Set up a saving account called Rainy Day Pod. Use this to put aside small amounts of cash each month, as these days do happen and they do come around when you least expect it. But at least you'll be prepared for when it does. So that basically means set a budget. Have a budget for when you're building out your first property. And always when you purchase your first property, have a budget to the side in the event that if anything goes wrong, you've got the money to cover it. Step 4, purchase the correct property. Although the location is absolutely critical part to play in your investment property performance, being the owner of the right property in the right location is fundamental. It's important to note that your property should be suitable for your target market. So what do I mean by that? So if you decide that you want to do single lets to families They would not like to live in an area where it consists of houses of multiple occupation, because then you know there's several tenants that are in those properties. And a family normally wants to live on a quiet road, near schools, near parks, near shopping centres, so that they can care for their loved ones. So always make sure that you understand your strategy, your tenants, and the property area in which you want to invest in. It is important to note that your property should be suitable for your target market in those areas. Again, reiterating it, which you have previously identified in your earlier research step. It is also step 5, think before you buy, because it's important to allow yourself time to consider all the facts that goes with investing in property. This is a big decision that you should not take lightly at all. Unless you're a seasoned property investor and understand all the steps of investing in property, the real game here is to exercise patience, as the wrong decisions could be very costly. I always take my time to find the right property. However, when I do find it, I definitely am in a hurry to buy it. Once I've done all of my due diligence and I've carefully considered it, I know that I'm able to purchase that wisely, safely. As Warren Buffett said, wealth is the transfer of money from the impatient to the patient. Step 6, delegating work to specialists. As a property investor, it will become impractical to take on your investment needs all by yourself. Although you may feel it unnecessary at this step to hire a property manager, accountant, or handyman, it will be more cost effective to invest in having a team who you can rely on and get the job done with little or no effort. Less time and savings on your cost as well than you attempted to do it yourself, which could lead to costly mistakes. Having a reliable team will allow you to spend time being more productive on your business. Always try to concentrate on what you know you're good at and allow other specialists to come in and concentrate on what they're good at. That way you're really using and utilizing your time wisely. Step 7, get insurance. Getting landlord insurance should be the most important purchase for your property that you will make, as most lenders request to see proof that the property is insured before releasing mortgage funds, as they want to be assured that their 75% of investment is covered should anything happen to the asset. My mum always used to say, better to be safe than sorry, is the words that has been heeded by many. And when it comes to insuring your property, it is safe. It's the safest net in the event of something significantly happening to that property. Shop around for good policies that will cover you in the event of malicious damage, loss of rental income, or damage caused by tenants, or it's untenable for a short period of time. And our last step, step 8, never buy on scene properties ever. In a situation where it's impossible for you to see the property, hire an independent specialist buying service to be your eyes and ears, giving you the security that you need if you cannot view that property, allowing you to therefore make an informed decision without losing money. So by working through these 8 steps process, you will hopefully be really building your property portfolio cost effectively, safely and wisely. It will be less time consuming with mistakes, and it puts yourself in a positive and stress-free position, experiencing profitable investments as you should as a landlord. Where a newbie investor trips up is not being able to get themselves educated, thus leading to costly mistakes. One of our clients who came to us as a consultant really asked us to help her. And she says Sophia has invested an extraordinary amount of her time developing and maintaining excellent relationship with mortgage lenders, allowing her to provide first-class services to clients like herself. But when you're buying properties rapidly, it can also cause a bottleneck. And that's where Savvy Women Group came in. They took 48 hours to find a solution for us. We were able to get bridging finance on 2 properties and refinance 3 other properties within 28 days, which gave us a cash flow of 152,000. And we were able to continue seamlessly purchasing property, which is the key here, is that you can seamlessly do things once you know how you're doing it. We have continued to use the buyer services for the last 10 years, as we are so happy with the professionalism and the relationship we have built up over the years. Now with Faye, she had a bottleneck in her cash flow and was able to get her to release equity from some of her properties and bridge the rest of them. Understanding your strategy and where you want to go would allow us to also help you to create that and formulate that plan that is definitely going to lead you into a profitable property business. Now, our other client was, she approached us because she wanted an independent mortgage consultant, and our mortgage team was able to help her with her buy-to-let properties. Now, we helped her not only to negotiate 15% discount on the properties she was going for, we arranged the finance, we project managed the properties, and we rented it out. So it was like a turnkey. That's the facilities that she wanted from us. So I was able to do a turnkey properties for her and literally handed the keys with it being rented out and us managing her properties. She goes on to say, we are very happy with the service that we have received and would highly recommend the Savvy Women Investors Academy. In order to fully understand about how to go about getting investments and making money from them, I want to share with you a free property that I own in Liverpool. So I'm going to take you through a few monetary expenses that you would make when you come to investing in property. So this is the purchase and refurbishment costs for my free property. I purchased the property at 60,000. I got a loan to value at 75%, which the lenders then lent me 45,000. My deposit was 15. I paid solicitors, stamp, refurbishment costs, and other associated costs, which come to a sum total of 60,112. But I want to make a disclaimer. When you're calculating these figures, sometimes it will be on a gross valuation. In order to get a net valuation, you have to consider the following: any associated costs, that could be your council tax, electricity, gas, any licenses that you might have to obtain, a project manager, or any legal costs for this particular contract. So here's the deal broken down in simple terms. We purchased a property and all costs to turn it into a HMO in the January of that year was 60,112. January to March, we spent the time refurbishing the property to get all it compliant to rent out as a HMO. Now, there's a lot that goes into a HMO. You have to get proper licensing. You have to have proper fire regulated doors, fire systems, and there's a whole host of things that goes alongside doing a HMO. We actually teach this strategy. So if you wanted to get into this strategy, please feel free to contact us. So before the remortgage, which we knew was going to remortgage this property in 6 months, which is the time allotted by the new regulations that you can't refinance your property before 6 months in certain circumstances. In R1, it was 6 months. So before the remortgage, in April, we rented it out for 3 months. Now, our rental income gross was 2,285.28 for 6 rooms. And this was before our property expenses, which were 990. When it's a HMO, you have to take care of internet, gas, electricity, water, council tax, and any other associated costs with that. When we valued the property, we had an independent valuer and a valuer come round when we went for remortgaging. They valued it up at 130. So we have effectively doubled our investment by adding value. That was renovating the kitchen, adding more bathrooms, extending the property and bringing it up to today's standard. We remortgaged the property in 6 months and our value was 130. Between April and June, the profits from the rent was net 4,785.84 pence. So therefore, when we remortgaged in June, and after paying back the original mortgage of 45,000 and the associated costs, we were effectively left with 50,000 that we could take out of the property. That is after paying our broker, our legal expenses, the valuation report, and again, any associated costs. So what does that look like? So rent from April to June was 4,785.84 pence. When we remortgaged in June, we was able to take out 50,000 because we had an uplift in the valuation. Rent from July to January, so this is now a full 12 months, was 9,571.68. So our net total after all associated costs worked out to 64,357.52 pence. So the profits from the property in 12 months was 64,357.52, minusing the original spend that we had invested of 60,112. So what does that look like? So we've rented out 6 rooms worth 130,000, which effectively gave us, after net, 575,961.28 profit back. When we calculated it with our accountant, our net profits was then 4,245.52 pence after all costs considered. So that was back in our pockets. However, we did still have the property and we still had 25% equity in the property and still getting rental income. As I said, these figures are approximate because we had to do the final figures with our accountant. But these profits are the real profits that we was able to have out from the property. That's 4,245.52 pence. And also having the property rented out, all the rooms, and still having equity and owning the property. And after we pulled out all our money, we took the money that we pulled out in our profits and put it into another property. So time to review. So let us do a quick review on what we've covered today. First, we looked at the 8 essential steps for property investment, which included 1, educate yourself. 2, do your research. 3, set a realistic budget. 4, purchase the right property. 5, think before you buy. 6, delegate work to specialists. 7, get insurance. And 8, never buy on scene properties. Then there was phase testimonial. It took us 48 hours to find a solution for our client. We were able to get bridging finance on 2 properties and refinance 3 other properties within 28 days, which gave her a cash flow of 152,000. And they were able to continue seamlessly purchasing properties. And there was Liba's testimony. She wanted to start investing in buy-to-let market and was new to the industry at that time. They were surprised to find a business that could provide the mortgage, but also offer a turnkey solution. Our team found a property, negotiated 15% discount, arranged the finance, project managed the properties so that they were ready to rent out, and found the tenants and managed the properties. Let's simply handed back the keys to the client when it was all done. Then we talked about how to own a free property. Isn't it easier to see how everything fits? And most importantly, doesn't it feel good knowing that you should focus on right now and what you can actually do on your journey, regardless of where you are in that process? Do you see how this clarity will help you accomplish your end goals easier and faster? It has been jam-packed video, so make sure you review your notes and put it into action right away. Now that you've got those wheels turning, I want to hear from you. I know you picked up a lot of ideas from this video, and now it's the time to get started. So let's know in the comments your first steps will be. I really want to know what those first steps for you are going to be, because when I know that, I'm going to get really excited for you and help you along your way. And if you found this video very helpful, please share it with others. Send it out on Facebook, Twitter, and even send the link to your friends. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to implement what you've learned today easier and faster. If you're a newbie, this lays out the exact plan you can accomplish your end goal. And if you're an experienced property investor, you'll build on what you already created by following the specific steps designed to get you past holding you back on your roadblocks, so you get on track and reach your goals. Speaking of learning how to accomplish your end goals, we've been hearing from a number of people who've had questions about the Savvy Women Investors Academy, and I'd love to see you there. In the next video, we'll talk more about this program and how you can join. The way it works is that I opened up a full class to the general public for a limited basis. We do this so it runs similar to a college class where we all go through it together. So registration opens up in a few days, then it closes. So I created a space for new members to deliver the content. So if you're interested in moving forward and want to know how, you'll want to join me on the next video where I lay out all for you. For now, I want to leave you with this. Just by taking part in this workshop, you're already closer to knowing how to accomplish your end goal. Think about video 1, where you learned how to focus on your strategy and your end goal. This training allowed you and showed you how to have more time and money. And it's amazing how simple it can be once you have the steps. Then you made big strides in video 2, where you saw how to maximize profits by knowing how to buy low and sell high. That's huge. And knowing this will continue to pay off from now and into the future. And today you got a complete blueprint so you can build your property portfolio. It isn't easy knowing every step along the way. To make it even better, we cut to the chase so you know exactly what gives you the bigger results, fast and with less demand on you. In just a few days, you'll learn so much about how to accomplish your end goal. And in this video, I'll share the next step on your journey. I'm so excited about what is in store for you. I'll see you in the next video.